I mean, it's happened. This happened 2 days ago to Nate. So, someone made a video using his clips talking about him. He filed a copyright claim against him, and they shut down his whole channel. YouTube is cracking down on this copyright abuse. It's
yeah, I understand that, but I'm not a copyright abuser. If you want to say that, sure, but I'll talk to YouTube, I'll talk to my manager, whatever. If that's the case,
this guy's doing whatever he can to get his channel back, and it ain't coming back.
We all make mistakes. That's part of life. But hopefully when you, I, and everyone else drops the ball, take a moment. Take stock of what's going on.
What exactly did you call him out on?
So things like titles, thumbnails, and even things that he said in the video, I didn't agree with at all. And I think it's kind of disgusting.
Patch up your mistakes, your wounds, and stop the metaphorical bleeding.
If I'm going to put myself in the public eye, then people are going to criticize me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I said, I may not always agree, but, it is what it is. People will say what they have to say. But unfortunately, there are some creators that don't like people criticizing them.
And move on from bad situations. Even, or especially if they've become terrible. Even if it's a defining bad moment. That even your friends, your fans, your loved ones aren't soon to let you forget or live down such moments. Today, we're talking about a guy named JustDestiny. Some examples of JustDestiny's award-winning content includes, and I'm taking an 8 to 24 second clip of his work. That will be the only amount of content I'm taking from JustDestiny, 8 to 24 seconds. I'm looking forward to JustDestiny attempting to copyright strike less than 30 seconds in the entirety of this whole video.
I wonder what she's thinking about right now. She's probably thinking about the fact that she actually took the time out of her day to dress up like a demonic goat from the gates of hell for a TikTok video. And that this might possibly be the worst decision of her entire life. Or maybe not.
Kids do cringy Fortnite dances at schools, talent show, spoiled rich kid thinks he owns the world. If you're guessing that JustDestiny is a slightly better, more groomed, more polished version of Leafy is Here, the titles feel similar. For example, Egotistical Girl has unbelievable dating standards. And here's Leafy is Here's title. Upset fanboy cries about his best friend stealing his girlfriend. But that's not really why we're here. I actually found out about JustDestiny because he flagged a 15-year-old kid because he got upsetty spaghetti because some kid at some time had between, 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers. Made fun of JustDestiny. JustDestiny got mad at the internet that day. In the biggest case of someone dishing it out but not being able to take it, JustDestiny copyright struck a commentator on one of his videos. Now I understand fair use is something that courts decide, that a clip under 30 seconds is likely fair use. Yes, Destiny, I will appeal if you smash that strike option. And you and I will find out together what fair use really is if you decide to push your luck with me. Because JustDestiny is a special guy. He didn't just strike a 15-year-old.
Because he was getting a lot of hate for the whole situation and stuff like that, understandably. So, now having said that, a lot of things have changed ever since this whole situation went down. So, the first major thing that's changed is he actually completely deleted his Twitter. Originally he privatized it, but for whatever reason he decided to completely delete his Twitter. It is non-existent. You can look it up. It's at JustDestinyYT. It's not there anymore. He completely deleted his Twitter.
It's possible that JustDestiny was having a bad day, didn't think it through, and didn't weigh his options. On the other hand, what if I told you JustDestiny got a professional cease and desist order versus that same 15-year-old kid we were talking about?
Not only that, but we got a very interesting update about the situation earlier today, and I'm going to share that with you guys right now. Let's actually switch over to this screen here, and we can see this tweet by Lt Cobra. This is his Twitter account. He says, just got an email from JustDestiny's attorney. Not sure if it's legit, but I've got a proper page, essay, and all. Bearing in mind, I'm not sure if it's real. If you want to message me about it and want to see it, DM me. If it is real and JD is suing a 15-year-old kid.
He didn't craft it himself. He went to legal experts.
These are all names of people associated with that law firm. And if we look, they're all here. Christopher Ray, David Gold, John Anthony, Chelsea Gilbert, they're all here. All the people listed on that document. So it does look like this is a legitimate cease and desist document.
To draw this up so it would be nice, regal, and legal, in lieu of having a sane discussion with content creator Lt Cobra, that's the 15-year-old, JustDestiny struck the video down, blocked Lt Cobra, that's the 15-year-old, and then privated his Twitter account, because in JustDestiny land, that's what a real Chad does. But what really got this manly man so angry to begin with, and I'm gonna borrow a clip from a channel called Tipster, and a video called JustDestiny threatens to sue Lt Cobra after abusing copyright strikes to take down his video.
Now, as much as I would like to help this kid, Lt Cobra, all I could really do is do a video and talk about it and bring awareness to the situation.
Now, if JustDestiny did have a video of girls shaking their asses on his channel, I would feel comfortable saying I and a jury of 12 would agree that it is reasonable to call that creepy. I think that is a rational reaction. Additionally, JustDestiny snapped down his videos on his channel, allegedly, that used to be on his channel. Now, if those videos were on your channel, JustDestiny, some might say JustDestiny was concealing that Lt Cobra, the 15-year-old kid, had a point. Now let's consider that your channel has 1 million subs. You roast people for a living, and some little bastard made an accusation that other rational people may or may not call you a pederast. Maybe, maybe not. They might call you that. Some might not. I'm choosing my language very carefully, JustDestiny. I could understand if Lt Cobra's conclusions, whether I agree with them or not, I understand them. Now, did JustDestiny have a chance, an opportunity to make things right by a source that would be impossible to ignore or pretend like he didn't hear about it?
This is a YouTuber with 1.7 million subscribers known as JustDestiny. Now, he uploads like a lot of Dr. Phil videos, and pretty much he responds to other people's content. He's basically a reaction channel, a reaction commentator. Now, JustDestiny had many videos of very young girls in his thumbnails that looked like this. So a 15-year-old commentator known as Lt Cobra, he uploaded a video exposing Destiny, and Destiny took down his video. He filed a copyright strike. Basically, the whole community freaked out on JustDestiny because, remember, this guy is making videos on other people. The minute a 15-year-old commentator calls him out for doing some creepy stuff, he flagged and took down the video. Well, when this argument took place on Twitter, JustDestiny completely deleted his whole Twitter, and he has not released the claim. Not only did he not release the claim, but he also sent a cease and desist letter to the 15-year-old commentator trying to get him to stop making videos. A couple nights ago, I tweeted out, JustDestiny, release the claim or I'm going to cover this on Drama Alert. Now I have to cover this on Drama Alert.
In case you didn't know, that's Keemstar. He's from a channel called Drama Alert. Drama Alert has 4.7 million subscribers. Now, you might not like Keemstar. I think you can guess by the fan art. This here is done by Dogi Crimson, one of my favorite artists, linked down below in the description. I love Keemstar. He is an unapologetic ass. He's also a person who fucks up in spite of all that. But from time to time, he does seem to grow and learn. He helps to bring information to the forefront. Like this. Let's continue.
This is just so pathetic that a commentator who makes videos criticizing other people had a video made on him criticizing him, and he copy struck the video, took it down falsely, and then on top of it is now threatening to sue a 15-year-old. Well, I just want to let you know, JustDestiny, I will give that kid all the money in the world to defeat you in court. And like I said on Twitter, I will be covering this story on Drama Alert. You are a piece of shit for this. When that 15-year-old kid called you out for uploading some questionable stuff, you deleted every single one of those videos because you were wrong. And now you're trying to hide the evidence, which is going to cause this story to go viral. Last chance, remove the strike off the 15-year-old kid or I'm gonna have to cover the story.
Jackboot throat. All things considered, for a man in Keemstar's position, that was unbelievably understanding. Keemstar could have just straight up sucker punched JustDestiny, made the video, and to make it worse, JustDestiny didn't release the claim. Lt Cobra didn't file a counterclaim to JustDestiny because he didn't wish to give his name and address to JustDestiny.
It's normal until the sunrise of the Wednesday morning on January the 23rd. JustDestiny lost 7.5 million views. Yes, 7.5 fucking million. Once again, doing my maths, JustDestiny deleted a total of 7.8 to 8 million views on his channel. Clearly, this wasn't just one video, and in fact, a few JustDestiny videos. This man is so fishy, I swear. So let me get this straight. You change all the sexual thumbnails of kids, then deleted almost 10 million of video views, but yeah, somehow I'm in the wrong according to him, and that's worthy of a copyright strike. We clearly know he abused the system though, because JustDestiny didn't strike me for slander or file a complaint for it. No. Because I used clips of his content to form my argument, and I also created a trailer consisting of some of the oddest things he'd said, he was able to strike the video down. I mean, where's the fun in that, bud? What annoys me is that I can't even get answers nor speak to him, which raises red alarms into whether or not he's a non-strike on my channel. But if you look deeper, JustDestiny did contact me by striking the video, however not in real life. Now as I go to appeal for my strike, which is very different to appealing a claim, it warns me that there is a legal process to go through, and it reads as followed. Important legal note, by filling out a counter notification, you're starting a legal process. As part of the process, YouTube will need to forward your personal information to the claimant who removed your video. The claimant may file a lawsuit against you. You may wish to consult a lawyer about this process. If I continue and counter the strike and write a message to the claimant, or in this case JustDestiny, it forces me to provide my personal information such as address, full name and phone number. Honestly, what the fuck? What's even weirder is that it says the legal rules for counter notifications require us to forward your contact information to the claimant who removed your video. So if I want my video, which was wrongfully taken down back, I have to give a suspected nonce my personal information on the internet. What the fuck, YouTube? Not only that, do you think JustDestiny, a man of great morals, is going to keep this information private? No.
My only critical feedback to Lt Cobra, and I'm not looking to break your balls, but if you're doing things like commentaries, you kind of have to be prepared for that contingency. And having a personal life might be one of the first casualties on this path in YouTube. If your heart really is somewhere else, and you're more focused on school, it's probably just a good idea. But I also think JustDestiny stepped down on you harder when you blinked. And when Lt Cobra admitted, in your words, I'll just take the L. And JustDestiny likely assumed, when he hit you with that cease and desist, that you might just go away. Again, if you're not invested in YouTube, I can't blame you. I don't have to tell you how frustrating this shit can be. But if you're not going to pack up your bags just yet, and you want to leave on your own terms, you got a real life-changing moment ahead of you. The person who will have to go to court isn't Keemstar. It's not me. It's not Tipster. It's not your fans or your friends. I can tell you this is a bluff, 100% up and down, but I'm not the person whose ass is going to be in the sling. It's going to be you, Lt Cobra. That's why I'm going to include a link to Lt Cobra's Patreon and his channel at the top of the description. I feel in this case it's not about supporting Lt Cobra, though if you do like what he does, by all means, please go support him. Backing Lt Cobra in this case is making the right decision against someone else who thinks they're above culpability for their actions. I don't think it's fair, especially in Lt Cobra's case, that he had to take on as much responsibility in the first place here. I'm not saying he's above reproach or criticism. He certainly does use some flavorful language. He is kind of a bastard. But considering his target, Lt Cobra certainly, to the best of my knowledge, was a long way from breaking the terms of service, much less breaking copyright. In all likelihood, I think Cobra being removed from YouTube would have made the place a little bit smaller, based on this action. I think since the start of this whole garbage fire, I think he's gone up somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 subs. I think it's actually at 7,000 after last night's stream with Keemstar and JustDestiny. This story keeps growing and growing. I'm sure it's small comfort if Lt Cobra really understands just how serious everything is. Because the last thing I know I'd want to hear about before going off to college is hear lawsuit. Now, I mentioned Tipster earlier, That's how I found out about Lt Cobra and JustDestiny. And of the videos I've seen from that guy, he's been fair and balanced and calm and composed. And he doesn't rant and rave or get short-tempered with people. So the next statement has a lot more weight to it when I heard it.
What are my thoughts on this whole situation? I just don't get it. Like, dude, you are a massive YouTuber that is much larger than this guy, Lt Cobra. This kid is only 15 years old. You're telling me, as a commentary YouTuber who does videos criticizing and making fun of people, the moment a 15-year-old kid does a video making fun of you, not only do you copyright strike the video, not only are you a beta bitch who deleted his Twitter as a result of this kid and many other people criticizing you for copyright striking this kid, not only that, but you're actually threatening to sue the kid. You're going to send him a cease and desist letter because you can't handle criticism? It doesn't get more bitch made than that. How do you have a career on YouTube where you criticize people, and the answer to the criticism that you get, you threaten to sue a 15-year-old kid? I don't know what the fuck you're thinking, but you are the most beta bitch motherfucker that I have ever seen. Suing a 15-year-old kid because you can't handle a little bit of criticism. What a fucking cunt.
Look, there are all kinds of ways that this could have been handled before JustDestiny took this tumble. This headlong dive where he could have stopped the bleeding, where he could have put his hands out and at least attempted to slow his fall here. JustDestiny, before giving that strike, could have slept on it and just realized, damn, maybe those videos weren't such a good idea. The alleged ones that were up on his channel that allegedly had children in it. Allegedly. Maybe JustDestiny could have said, I can make a statement and apologize and remove the strike. I understand. It must have sucked. I'm sure it must have sucked to have some fast-talking kid just wreck your shit. But that's the thing about some teenagers over adults. For better or for worse. They don't mind telling you that you fucked up. Maybe JustDestiny, you surrounded yourself in an echo chamber that no one could point out what must have been fucking obvious to anyone else. Maybe you could have slammed on the brakes after Keemstar put out that message and gone, you know what? I'm a little overworked. My head's been in a bad place. That cease and desist was really stupid. I had a bad day. I had a bad week. I'll do my best not to let it happen again. I'm sorry, Keem. I'm sorry, Lt Cobra. I'm sorry to my fans for being a stupid dumb fuck. Being online and being a stupid bastard, it happens. The sooner you stop, the better. Hell, alternatively, if you didn't do anything when Lt Cobra's video came out, there's no way this would have blown up as big as it has.
The original video, they got struck down, yeah.
It only had 2,300 views and then it got taken down.
Unbelievable.
Now, some people are likely to think that you went to obscene lengths to bully a 15-year-old into not talking about your past. Well, fuck me. That sure sounds innocent. In the Brony fandom, we used to have a top hat be a symbol for pedophiles, based off a former YouTuber by the name of Toon Critic. In the furry fandom, if you want to call someone a monster, you compare them to Kero the Wolf. By contrast, in this commentary Let's React hybrid, this white mustache here is going to be the new symbol for garbage behavior. This is the new symbol of incompetence and ignorance. You haven't just qualified to be known as a fuck-up, sir. You have reinvented the motherfucking wheel. To my audience, to anyone watching, if you don't want to boost this video because it'll support me, here's a link to Tipster's video on this topic, as well as Lt Cobra's. Please consider watching and sharing their work if you don't stand with me. Terrible people and terrible actions persevere when good people, or otherwise, do nothing. I want to share something with you guys before we go. This is Austin Jones. Austin Jones, among other things, used to ask young girls to twerk for him. This is D Fizzy. He did a 31-minute explaining his insights on some of the things he had to do to help bring Austin Jones' behavior to light.
I wanted to make, but I was literally silenced. Like, I was shut down, I was threatened, all these things, which I will talk about later, but it scared me to not make the video, and instead it was just put on Twitter. and it was left at that. Basically, today I'm going to be talking about Austin Jones, as I already said. He's a musician slash YouTuber who was called out for having child porn, not just having child porn, for producing child porn. Right now, he's being slammed with 2 charges of production of child pornography. He admitted to soliciting videos from minors. He admitted to masturbating to these videos. He's admitted to everything. And today was his hearing, and he was sent home on a $100,000 bond with his mom. He's on house arrest right now. He's not allowed on the internet, not allowed on social media, not allowed on his phone. Let's see how that goes.
The reason I bring this up is D Fizzy isn't a cop, he isn't a firefighter, he isn't a military man. At least I'm pretty sure. With all due respect, he's not a man's man, he's a pop star. His behavior and livelihood sustains based on his ability to make safe choices that don't endanger his public name, so venues can continue to book him, so sponsors will continue to pay him. And a lot of that comes from the ability not to rock the boat. I would argue from a tactical standpoint, it would have been in his worst interests to come forward and speak up. And yet he did, because he saw Austin Jones was touring with him on tours with a lot of kids. And you could call it morality or common sense or hell, why not both? He spoke up despite pushback from the event manager and almost being thrown off a tour back in 2016-2017. The relevancy here is if Justin Bieber over here can find the nerve and the balls to do the right thing when it's vastly so fucking inconvenient to do so, we all can. And maybe if JustDestiny was willing to take legal action versus a 15-year-old to cover up his alleged interest in underage girls twerking and allegedly remove all those videos from his channel, maybe, just maybe, that's worth a look.
Gonna kill himself. He actually DM'd my viewers saying, if I kill myself, it's on Damon's hands. Like, if I kill myself, it's his fault. And I was actually sat in a room and told that. They told me he was suicidal, and if he killed himself, it'd be my fault, and that I could go to jail, I could receive jail time, and what I did was wrong. And I was even actually told that I should apologize to Austin Jones for what I have done.
Austin Jones has pled guilty recently to producing child porn. What sane person privates their Twitter because a 1,000 to 2,000 sub channel at that time says anything? If JustDestiny was 110% cinnamon roll. Maybe. But he had a 1 million plus subscriber channel based on somewhat might call shit talking and drama. I am at a loss of an example of anyone I am at a loss of an example anyone in JustDestiny's shoes going to such obscene lengths. The more and more I think about it. Well, there is one, but I'll wait a little bit. Rationally, why would you need to silence someone unless there was something you didn't want them to find?
I should apologize. She continues to say, your comment, I truly apologize for how this came across to you, is not how it came across to me. It was a fact that you are a bully. Look up the definition. Stop insulting my intelligence. You are a kid. No, I'm not. I deal with kids like you every day. For the last 30 years in my business, so your spin on words would not work with me. She also wanted me to apologize. She said, I think an apology or a retraction is in order for what you did to Austin if you were to remain on this tour. Although, my personal opinion, you abused your power. I'm the one who abused my power, guys, not Austin. I abused my power for standing up for victims and outing his behavior.
I spent a lot of my free time watching videos on Austin Jones, and from my experience with predators, seems to echo, be it ever so slightly, in situations like these. But did you hear any of that? Abuse of power, or you're just a kid. If Lt Cobra ever watches this video, I would wager at least some of this sounds vaguely familiar. I'm not suggesting that JustDestiny is a predator. I'm suggesting his behavior has me concerned, and when I see his actions are taken to cover up and remove information that would help people to come to a conclusion on their own. Actions that seem excessive, short-sighted, impulsive, over an extended period of time, done so consistently without addressing such accusations publicly or otherwise. What are we to believe? There's even more recent news as JustDestiny made a statement on a podcast. I'm going to be grabbing clips from Tipster's video. There'll be a link to the original interview down below as well.
who were in suggestive positions. And then on top of that, then when the LT Cobra video came out and it got struck down, more drama ensued, especially from the small commentary community.
Started from Cobra. He made a
Cobra,
video. Yeah, LT Cobra. He made a video, I guess, critiquing, I say slandering, telling people and using my content to do so that I'm a nonce, a pedophile, on the basis of my titles and thumbnails, because there are children in them.
Dear JustDestiny, based on your recent actions, I find your behavior concerning, as it is consistent, or at least similar, to other people and situations that did not provide a healthy environment for children. I feel I've legally dodged anything slanderous with that statement.
People started coming to my Twitter and basically started harassing me, calling me a pedophile and a nonce because I'm sexualizing children. I'm using them for clickbait. I was kind of shook. I'm using the word shook because I never thought in a million years that I would be put in this position of someone accusing me of being a sexual predator. And then people actually going with this. They weren't looking into the videos, they weren't looking into the context, and they weren't trying to understand the other side. So I eventually deactivated my Twitter.
Now, whether or not this is sexualizing kids, you snapped the videos down when you got called out for this. What were people supposed to think?
What really triggered me was when he went to my stream. I was live streaming. He donated $1 and called me a pussy and said that you need this more than I do. I don't know how people are defending this kid. If you made a video critiquing the thumbnail, saying they were distasteful, or you don't like the way that I made them, or saying that you should have did it a different way, that would have been totally understandable. But he accused me of being a sexual predator, called me a nonce, a pedophile, and harassed me on multiple platforms also simultaneously. And somehow he's still winning this whole situation.
Again, your channel is basically designed to fuck with people, and your angry 15-year-old is hitting you because the way you displayed younger girls on your channel, underage girls, videos that you have since taken down, which means you agree they were wrong, and by extension, you're wrong. If I'm wrong, by all means, you tell me.
Hey.
You know, Keemstar, he DM'd me.
Right.
Yeah, before this. He specifically, what I got from what he was talking about, he doesn't care about the pedophile accusations, the sexual thing. He specifically messaged me about the copyright strike and the nuances of that. And he doesn't even have a problem with me taking down the video. He said that I abused the copyright strike system because, in his mind, he believes it's a false strike. All right, so I was confused on that until I picked his brain a little. Basically, bottom line is, it's not about that I took down the video initially. It's about the way I took it down, how I took it down. I took it down via a copyright strike, which is still viable because my content was in the video, and he was using my content to propagate the idea that I was a sexual predator. But Keemstar didn't like that I took it down via copyright. He said if I would have taken it down via a defamatory or slander type category, he would have been totally fine with it. Or he didn't say he would be totally fine with it, but he would have been like, yeah, it would have been okay.
JustDestiny, you have a channel where you use fair use for most of, some of, all of, pick one, all other people's content to make your videos. And now you're pretending you don't understand fair use. If you would have hit Viper for slander in the videos, you would potentially have an argument. But for fair use, all one needs is to provide commentary and critique over the original work. Viper stated, you sexualized kids. It is a commentary and a critique. You might argue it is a slanderous commentary and critique. But how is that not fair use?
And I was like, why would I allow someone to use my content from my channel, that takes a lot of time to edit, to propagate an idea of me being a sexual predator?
In nowhere in fair use does it describe the quality of commentary and critique. Sir, dear JustDestiny, fair use isn't something you grant another content creator. Granted, it is a legal defense used in court that has to be defined in court. But if you can give a citation where defamation, libel, and slander, etc. nullifies anything in regards to fair use, by all means, do you have any court case, a citation from any of the 50 states in the USA? Because if you don't, it is likely you are talking out of your ass.
Keemstar to have a moral high ground, like, with this whole situation, or maybe he didn't have a moral high ground, but for him to try to demean me and try to act like I'm a criminal, it's just like super offensive because I've done nothing wrong. You know, he said he was going to give this kid $50,000 to try to countersue me if I sued him. And I'm like, because he was like, you're a threat to the community and you're like a criminal and you broke the law. So I was like, okay, Cobra, he broke the law because he slandered me and that's illegal. He used my content. I struck it down. That's justifiable under the copyright laws of YouTube.
Dear JustDestiny, slander, libel, and defamation are civil torts. Torts are matters that are resolved by, hence, there is no criminal charge here on any side. There is no jail or prison time in the balance. That is why a layman, like you, me, Keemstar, anyone not a lawyer, has no business giving legal advice or presenting themselves as legal authorities. Again, I'm not a lawyer. Please go double check on your own.
No, I want an apology.
Okay, just an apology?
I want an apology. I want to speak to his parents, and then I'll release it. Because he needs to learn a lesson. You know, I was saying in my head, I'm ashamed that these people are actually condoning this type of behavior, like Keemstar and all these, I guess, supposed adults in the commentary community actually supporting this kid. Listen, guys, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Look within yourselves. Like, what are you doing? You know, years ago, you might have went through something like this before, and you were in my position being accused by someone, you know, whether it be small or big. You were once in my position. You know, you had different thoughts, but now you're actually supporting what you were once fighting against. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
I was told I should apologize.
No, I want an apology.
Kinda gets the old coffee pot percolating.
I do feel Viper should learn a lesson. Sometimes doing the right thing comes with negative consequences. Sometimes disgusting
beta bitch motherfucker that I have ever seen.
People will use their influence to let their way persevere over what's right. I hope Viper learns once you start something like this, you have to see it through to the end.
To sue him, to try and scare him out of criticizing you, to make him stop criticizing you. Shame on you, motherfucker. You're the one in the wrong here, not the kid.
This sums up JustDestiny's whole situation with Viper. I wanted to get back to Austin Jones.
Get me in a lot of trouble, and I'll try to not say any names, but it's just something like I really feel like I should be doing. Like I always have these gut feelings to do things, and people are like, no, don't do this, you can't do that, it's gonna get you in trouble with this, and I just like, I don't fucking care, okay? Because honestly, 2 years ago, I was told the same shit and I listened to these people and look where it got us. We need to not try to protect people. We need to spit out the honest truth and start looking out for people and try protecting the victims and stop, you know, worrying about the wrong shit.
Actively attempting to silence criticism in cases of accusations of pedophilia really only come off one way.
The image shared. Despite the similar features, the identity of the dog could not be definitively proven. Until very recently, that is. A user by the name Fox in Socks found an old Periscope video of Kero's. A tour of his garage dated 28th of April 2017. In it, Fox points out that one of the walls features in the videos is an exact match with the room featured in the video of Coda's molestation. Noticing this, the group archived the evidence and began posting their proof to Twitter. Kero was very quick to delete the Periscope video, not understanding how the internet worked.
JustDestiny lost 7.5 million views. Yes, 7.5 fucking million. Once again, doing my maths, JustDestiny deleted a total of 7.8 to 8 million views on his channel. Clearly, this wasn't just one video, in fact, a few JustDestiny videos. This man is so fishy, I swear.
Some of you, by now, will know of Kero the Wolf in the furry fandom. He's a 100,000 plus subscriber. Whenever he was confronted by any of the tweets that might have verified or shown evidence of abuse of his dog, he had taken his evidence down on Twitter. in JustDestiny's case, without addressing the matter publicly. Instantly, he removed his videos. I've had to delete tweets and the like, but I generally give a statement about why. Mostly because I'm stubborn and I like to get in the last word. I can empathize with not wanting to listen with someone else. If JustDestiny wanted to put his own spin on why he would want to remove the strike eventually, if he wanted to put a spin on why he took the videos down that puts him in the best light possible, that at least shows some level that he has come to his senses, there's room to spin some of these actions and motivations. Take Fizzy over here. Was he really that much of a saint? Was he really that responsible? At the end of the day, I think it's a fair assumption that he made the right call. And that's how we're all going to remember that situation. JustDestiny right now, at best, you look like Mundane Matt with a splash of Austin Jones. Because allegedly you had content around kids. Because delete, ban, block is not the way to answer matters like these. There are great videos out there from content creators like Dishonored Wolf.
Alright, so I'm not gonna bore you with some dramatic fake sigh or overly sentimental bullshit like everyone else on YouTube seems to do, because it seems like every time someone has some kind of drama surrounding them, that's how they immediately start everything off, which just comes off as super fake to me, and I'd like to believe I'm somewhat above doing that. But basically, way back in early July, I had to deal with an absolute assload of drama that ultimately came to a whole lot of nothing. I didn't speak about this topic beforehand for 3 reasons. 1, almost all of it is composed of outright slanderous lies that can literally be proven to be lied about by the people making the lie.
Where he answered accusations against himself, another free YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers. He now goes by the name The Word of Wolf. If you make an attempt to do the right thing, not just stubbornly stick to your guns, people tend to be understanding and forgiving.
One of them. I had no idea who Austin was. I didn't know anything about him, but I saw the photo announcing that he was on the tour, and I started looking through Instagram comments, and I saw a lot of like weird comments about these videos, like being sent videos and twerking videos. So I just felt really uneasy about this information, so I started becoming like a detective and really looking into it. I started going on Twitter and searching some old stuff. A lot of things were deleted, but I saw a lot of references to being asked for twerking videos. Dude, how young these girls were like is insane. Some of them are like 11, 12, 13, 14, all of them being very young, and he's in his 20s, now 24. I don't know, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh my god, okay, this guy is asking young girls for dancing videos. To the world, it just sounds like, oh, twerking videos, whatever. And that's what was justified. Oh, it's just twerking videos, guys. It's just a move invented by Miley Cyrus. That was his logic, or that's what he put out to the world.
I used to ask fans for twerking videos. Yes, twerking the dance move.
And that's what he told people, and people excused it. But in my mind, I was like, these are young girls sending him videos, and he is admitted to masturbating to these videos. That is fucking disgusting. I do not want to go on tour with this guy. I don't want anything to do with him. I don't want to be on a bus with him. I don't want him meeting my viewers. I don't want to be associated with—
Now here's the funny thing about this. From what I understand, Viper alluded, or more joked about your videos, about younger girls on YouTube. I'm going to go a step further. I feel this situation is somewhat similar to Austin Jones. Not entirely. There are no charges pending versus JustDestiny. But let's reference another YouTuber, DigiBro, who gets a lot of heat for having interests in illustrations of sexualizing underage girls.
As I am the lolly guy on the internet, in spite of the fact that I don't even really look at lollies anymore.
Your channel featured, past tense, what some might consider sexualized underage girls, allegedly. Considering the state of YouTube and the internet in general, how is it unreasonable? Put yourself in anyone else's shoes. That concern would not be unreasonable. Real kids, JustDestiny. If those videos sexualized kids, you would be worse than any furry and a cub art. You would be worse than any weeaboo in the Lullicon or Showdown. You allegedly put up videos whose titles and focuses were primarily to allegedly tantalize views through the alleged exploitation of kids. Again, if your answer would have been, I'm sorry, I didn't see it that way. Upon thinking it over, I had a moment and I really thought it over and removed the content because I was being ignorant. And at best, that was a hill I didn't wish to die.
So I found out all this information, I put it together, I sent it to the owner of the tour, I found out like his manager knew about it and was like trying to protect him, and he was trying to keep it silent so he could still go on the tour. And I mean, I found all this stuff out later, I didn't know this at the time, but yeah, I found out so many sketchy things. But basically, I sent a whole email with all the proof. It was told to me that it wasn't completely like evil, it was just lame. Is there anything truly illegal? Like downright evil shit. That is what I need. The twerking videos were lame, but not evil. I need stuff that will put him in jail because it's going there and you will have to testify. And I replied with, he forcefully solicited videos and photos from minors as young as 12 with proof of these requests. I'm not entirely sure if I can personally provide information that can put him in jail, but I can provide you many emails of encounters with young girls that would make parents not want their kids anywhere near him. So basically their argument was like, oh, it's not illegal because it's just twerking videos, but in these conversations, he was manipulating his young fans. He'd be like, oh, if you want to make me happy, you would do this. If you want to prove that...
Now, basically, we're done here. But I played that a little longer because that's a video I want to get to next. The tour manager of Austin Jones, from what this sounds like, covered up Austin Jones's behavior. The event manager's name was Brian Stone. There will be a link to that article down below. I say this because I want JustDestiny to know that I'm not singling you out. This is the kind of content I do on a regular basis. I find some of your behavior consistent with the kind of people I cover. Not all things, but there are some areas of concern. Next time I'm going to talk about the event manager of Austin Jones's tour. Hopefully by then, JustDestiny will have set his house in order and will have fixed his shit publicly. And this can all be a distant memory. Hopefully by then, JustDestiny will be an example on how to fix things after they've gone bad, even past what should have been the point of no return. Or maybe you'll continue to be a mixed match of Austin Jones and Mundane Matt, flagging and deleting anything that makes you look bad. Normally I say something along the lines of my videos, thank you, fuck you, bye. JustDestiny's side note, I've had to keep calling you JustDestiny because there's a gentleman who already goes by the name Destiny, and for all his faults, he doesn't deserve to be associated with garbage. I'm pretty sure we'll be revisiting you again later.